Hey, wake your ass up. It's time for Sway and J, baby.
Being addicted to the wrong person can get you killed. You know what I mean? You hanging around the wrong people can get you killed. And even if you're, even just being relationship wise, friend wise, family wise, you know, people have killed themselves because they can't stop being around. Like I knew someone. I don't know him personally, but there was an actor. He killed himself, and he killed himself because people were bullying him at his job. And a lot of people would be like, "Why don't you quit? Why don't you quit?" But maybe I can't attest to anything that he went through. But all I can say is, you know, it does bring up the question like, are you addicted to, you know, validation from people? You know,
Facts. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one right there.
why do you need validation? Like, somebody's being a jerk to you or being, somebody's just being a straight, you know what I'm saying, asshole.
There's a lot of people who are addicted to validation from others, and a lot of that sometimes comes from, childhood trauma, being shunned by parents or anything like that. But the validation, or and Jay, to really piggyback on that, that's why a lot of people don't follow through with their dreams. Because somebody said, "Oh, you can't do that," or "Oh, I don't think that's a good idea," or like, "Why are you trying to do all that?" Or just be normal. And to a lot of people, no, they can't handle that because if they seek validation from others and that validation that you seek isn't there, then in their mind it's like, what's the point? Like, what's the point of even doing this? If what I'm seeking, what I'm doing this to seek this validation, but nobody is validating. Nobody is validating my goals. So why would I even continue to pursue them? And that's how a lot of those type of people think. So they don't ever follow through on any dream or any goals that they have. And I think that's a terrible that is something. I guess it can fall into drugs because if like it does alter your mind. That
No,
will
it definitely
alter.
does. You hanging around sad, mad, whatever energy is transferable. You have to realize if you always hang around positive people, I feel like it's really hard to be sad. And if you're
Right.
always hanging around sad people,
Right. I
it's
can
really
agree.
hard to be happy.
I can agree.
Or broke people, or poor people, it's really hard to think rich if you're always around poor people.
Oh yeah,
Mentally.
you can't.
You know what I mean?
And okay, I would say this though. If you're kind of, if I won't say poor or broke, but if you're not financially where you would want to be, but you also
there a difference between broke and poor?
that's a different.
Broke is a
That's
mind.
different
Broke.
for that's different. That's for another video.
Okay.
That's for another video.
But you see what I'm saying though?
Yeah. I definitely
Just
see what
for
you're
this
saying. I
purpose.
definitely see what you're saying.
If you're hanging around specific.
But I'm saying like specific type of person who, if okay, you guys are both in a financial spot that y'all don't want to be in. But if that person has the same type of mindset that you have, that if they have like, in our situation,
Yeah.
like if they have a go getter or I want to accomplish everything past the moon type of mindset that you share, it's good to hang around those type of people. But if you hanging around somebody who ain't got no money and don't even have no dreams or aspirations, then yeah, that's terrible. That's a terrible drug. That right there is terrible. So,
But I'm saying it's just you hang around people, or just around people, or you're addicted to environments.
oh yeah,
I know some people, whether this person has died, and let's say the person died they were close to, they can't leave, and it's like, oh, you can't. Why can't you leave? Come on, come on. They're so attached to the home. They're so attached to a thing, an item. You're so attached to social media. You're so attached to materialistic items. You're so attached to validation. You're so attached to somebody trying to say, hey, you're important. You're so attached to try to be clout and be famous. you know, or try to like. And once I feel like you can start to get past that layer of wait a second, who you are as a person, and it doesn't matter at the end of the day. What matters if it's a personal thing, you know. That's what matters. Now, I'm happy for anybody. If that's what makes you happy, then albeit that makes you happy. But if that's not what makes you happy, then what are you doing? And I believe once you start to think that way, hopefully, we all can eventually get past these things because we all suffer from one way or another. You know, in other ways that maybe we haven't even talked about. You know, or maybe it's just doubting yourself.
Right.
You're addicted to doubting yourself. You can't stop doubting yourself.
Oh, that's people. There's a lot of people who do that. You know, it's just, you know, they self-inflict themselves, you know, before, just so they don't have to, you know, suffer the downfall. So they you know, they self-inflict themselves. They doubt themselves beforehand, just so they don't have to suffer, you know, the big downfall. And that's just something I can't agree with personally.
No. But once you start to get past it, it gets easier, man. And I feel like I'm not even there yet where I'm personally, but I could say I know I could talk about it because I feel like, you know, this is something that, in one way, I'm not going to say which way, but maybe I'll say it. Maybe it's doubting myself sometimes.
Right.
Or maybe it's constantly, and maybe, you know, the world is going to tell you, you know, you're not capable. You know, and also social media, and that makes it a lot harder. But what I do is I'm probably addicted to, you know, this Instagram thing. I'm kind of addicted now, and I'm starting to see. Wait a second, this is not good for me. Like, wait a second, whoa. Like, I don't care about nothing what nobody got going on. I don't care if so and so follow me. I don't care if so and so follows me. I don't care if they give me a comment. Cause at the end of the day, if I probably were to ask them, hey, you know, for a favor or anything, you know, how many of them would be like, shit, I'm on the way. If that though, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of them you don't even know. Once you start getting into hundreds of people don't care, but thousands, you know, thousands. I'm not in the thousands,
No.
but I don't really care about being in the thousands, you know.